Hi there, baby dolls. Yeah, I am. This video, in this video, I'm going to talk about a nightmare I had. Quite a funny nightmare I had the other day, with me being a flat earther now and all, and in the nightmare, it was a nightmare about the sun, you see, and in the nightmare, or it was, you see, I used to collect Star Trek fact files. They were like these papers with text and pictures on them describing things from the episodes and various TV shows. Like, they described the characters in the episodes and the races and whatnot, the alien races and whatnot, and the ships and such. Well, I was in my dream. I was seeing this paper from the Star Trek files, and it never actually existed. This particular page. You see, my parents used to buy the Star Trek files for me each 2 weeks. We had a subscription going, and when they came, I'd put the pages in binders, yeah, and yeah, I saw this page from the Star Trek files in my dream, but this page never actually existed because it was a page talking about a piece of supposed Starfleet technology which never actually existed in the show. Starfleet, you see, was the spacefaring wing of the United Federation of Planets in Star Trek. The United Federation of Planets were a kind of interspatial alliance started up by humanity and the alien Vulcan race, which accepted alien races that wanted to join, that were able to prove themselves worthy to become members of this group. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. I'm getting off topic here. I digress, I suppose you could say. Yeah. So in my dream, I saw this page from the Star Trek files, which never actually existed, talking about this piece of technology Starfleet supposedly had, and it was capable of sucking stars such as our sun into it, and like encasing them completely. It was like this kind of big white thing, this massive white container these massive white containers that would be in space, and in a way, the shape of them, they were kind of similar to those red things that they used to have in the deli counters in supermarkets, which you pull tickets out of when everyone would be waiting there to get meat from the deli counters and whatnot. Well, yeah, it was kind of like that, except white and absolutely gigantic, as in gigantic enough to house an entire star in it, yeah. But yeah, as the dream progressed, it seemed to change radically because later on in the dream, I was in this house that I shouldn't have been in, and which was situated in the street that I used to live in Liverpool. That I used to that, that, that I used to live in. That I used to live in Liverpool. Um, Come to think of it, it was probably in a similar. Actually, never mind. Yeah, I was in this house I shouldn't have been in, and Grant and Phil from EastEnders came along and threw me and the group and the other people I was in there with. One of them was in there with was this other man, and the other was this woman. I get the impression I might have fancied her or something from what I remember of the dream. From what I remember of my feelings in the dream, anyway. But yeah, once Grant and Phil threw us out of the house with tremendous, overwhelming force. Yeah, once we were out on the street, Grant mocked the man with me. Because apparently the man with me was an aspiring policeman or something, and Grant mocked him for being useless during the physical altercation that just occurred as they threw us all out of the, as Grant and Phil threw us out of there, I mean. But at this point in time, I happened to notice that the sun was actually moving in the sky. And yet, strangely enough, the sky was all kind of dark, not entirely nighttime dark, but dark as but like evening time darkness. And yet, if the sun was being moved around in the sky, you'd think that you'd think that the light, the level of light would be constantly fluctuating, wouldn't you? But no, it was moving around, but the sky was staying kind of dark or dusky, whatever you want to call it. And at that point in the dream, I immediately realised that Starfleet's piece of star swallowing technology actually existed, and that it wasn't just theoretical on the paper of the Star Trek files. And I was feeling scared because it seemed to pass quite close to the Earth, since it looked big in the sky at times as it was moving by, and I automatically realised somehow in the dream that Starfleet were releasing the sun from this big container they had and were putting it back into its normal place. And I was scared, thinking that if they moved the sun too close past the Earth as they were moving it into its normal position, then we'd all be fried, and obviously that wouldn't be fun, would it? No. So oh yeah, something else funny happened because the position that Starfleet put the sun in when they were supposed to be putting it back in its normal, in its proper place, they put it in such a place so that it was shining on the part of the world that I was in, even though it should have been night time. So I had that rather distressing thought in my head that from that point onward, the time periods that were the time periods that were supposed to be night times would actually be daytimes, and the time periods that should have been night times would actually be daytimes. And with me being an OCD victim, obviously that would feel terrible to know that from that point on, possibly for the rest of all time, daytimes, the time periods that should be daytimes would be night times, and the time periods that should be night times would be daytimes. I mean, I think it's bad enough that the governments and whatnot are considering abolishing daylight saving time changes and whatnot. So it makes me think, how could they possibly know what the time should be, like what they were when time first started, so to speak? Because if they stop doing it and it's like the wrong time when they stop doing it, then essentially time will flow onward from that wrong position, possibly for the rest of all time, and I'll feel quite bad to all those OCD victims out there, knowing that time isn't going as it should be going, isn't it? Like, I know I probably haven't, I know I probably haven't explained it very well, but like, say, imagine if when it gets to winter, they moved the clocks. I think they moved them forward in winter, don't they? Can't remember for sure. Or do they go back? Or wherever. When they moved the clocks back or forward an hour in winter, seems familiar to go back, but I'm not sure. So when they moved the clocks back an hour in winter, well, in autumn, imagine if that was actually the wrong way to arrange time, so to speak. And imagine if that's when they decide, alright, we're never going to change it anymore, we're just going to leave it like this. Like, imagine if when we first started keeping track of time and such, imagine if the way how it was supposed to be is the way how it is now, with the clocks being forward. But then again, it's impossible to know, because I don't think anyone would actually, because no one would have been around, and so we really got no way of knowing what the time should have been, would we? Unless it says online somewhere or something, if it can be bothered to look it up anyway. Yeah, and another thing another thing that was in this nightmare of mine was when I was home alone at one point, and because of how I can still be a little wussy man, scared of my own shadow and all, I think it's because I've got low testosterone, and I think I've always had low testosterone with my little girly hands and all. And so, yeah, I was home alone, and I think I was feeling a bit apprehensive, and I think I saw this like ghostly girl outside the patio of the house, and I was trying to arrange myself on the couch so that she wouldn't be able to see me at all through the patio. But strangely enough, I couldn't be bothered getting up and running away upstairs or out of view totally. No, I was too lazy. I was just trying to arrange myself or move myself on the couch to a place, to an angle where I couldn't be seen. But because my parents have cleared the area in front of the patio next to the next door neighbour's fences that's closest to us, she was able to get in places where she could see me no matter where I was sitting on the couch, and she seemed strangely able to change her height as well in order to see me, depending on positions that I was in. She was able to stretch up so that she looked about like 8 or 9 feet tall as she was glaring in at me, and she was able to seems to me like she was able to shrink herself really short as well. But at the same time, I didn't want to draw the curtains on her because I've seen so many short horror stories on YouTube that I know the rules of those stories, so to speak. And I thought in my dream that if I drew the curtains on her so she wouldn't be able to see me, I had a feeling that next thing that I knew, she'd probably be appearing inside the house like these ghostly apparitions can do, like these ghostly apparitions can do, and that would have been even more horrifying and shocking than her seeing me through the patio door outside, wasn't it? But I didn't need to worry for long anyway, because my parents soon came home, and well, I don't really remember what happened after that, but there was no need for worry at that point, I suppose. But yeah, anyway, I think it's funny that I dreamed of the sun, despite the fact that I want to believe flat eartherism is true, so right now. But anyway, that's the end of my little talk about my dreams, so I'll catch you all on the flip side, my sons and daughters. Goodbye. Goodbye, Sonny Jim.